there is, in terms of the lift that both Ethereum and Bitcoin had, and XRP as well, there's no support for this lift. It needs to correct. Now, this correction will be the answer whether we are going to continue upwards and leave the bear market behind, or whether we're going to continue downwards and complete the bear market with the third leg down. Yeah, absolutely. But it's been a challenging week. I'm gonna start with the trade analysis, the post trade analysis, because I've been trading this week. I've had 2 trades in this week. I closed both of them with a stop loss that I moved to secure profit for both of them, because it was ranging price action. So if we're looking at what we had this week, we had, where's Saturday? Okay, for Bitcoin, we had this movement here, so super ranging, and it was ranging up and down along a support and resistance line. And again, this support and resistance line is coming all the way from here, the previous swings back in July and September. So it is quite, it's I believe a 12-hour rather than a 4-hour support and resistance line. So it's significant. And we ranged this week, and it was really challenging to trade for 2 reasons. It was hard to read the momentum because we had contradictory information from the daily and the 4-hourly, and then it was hard to read the support and resistance. Like, it was below the support, above the support, below the support, above the support. We've had changing patterns as well, because there was a triangle here, and it looked like where is my pattern? That's my XRP. There it is. So we had this triangle here, which was super valid. It looked like it broke out of it. It back tested it. Happy days, looked beautiful for continuation, until it gained support again back above the 20 on the 4-hour and shot up. And that's where during the day I posted in the chats that I secured profit here, because this on the 1-hour had turned into a W formation. Earlier during the day, I noticed that it couldn't break this low, and I said I'm gonna put my stop loss above here and secure some profit. Not necessarily to secure the profit, but to secure the position, because I would have been stop lossed out. Here was my entry point, and I generally put for Bitcoin $100 above the previous peak. So this was the previous peak, 23,382 and 23,449. Okay, a little bit below, but I would have been stop lossed out. So I said there's no point being stop lossed out, because if this proves to be a W formation after all of this consolidation, it's gonna knock me out. I did the same for my XRP trade. The XRP trade had better profit. I'll show you the trade that I had for XRP. I kept all the markings. Again, XRP ranged from Friday to today. It was in this range between the top level here and this bottom level here. I got in here at 42.7. This was the 702 that I got in this swing, and then I put the stop loss. This was my second, I believe, my second stop loss above here. There we go, and I secured profit at this point right here. It was the same rationale, the same thought, that I had a slightly different formation. I had a formation like this. This looked fabulous for a back test, but These weren't going anywhere. It wasn't breaking. It was still holding, and I secured some profit, and it was I believe around 36%. So 36% from XRP, 10% from Bitcoin, 40% this week. And now I am waiting. And I took some notes while I was trading this week. So it was quite I was telling Michael at the start, it was quite enjoyable to be trading like this, because I wasn't how can I say, I was more planning and watching price action and having the space, because I know it's 4-hour swings, and if I'm taking my retracements on the 1 hour, I'll have the time to see what price action does. So, but also it was a challenge for my patience, because I wanted to take profit so badly here at this double formation along the 200 MA, but I didn't, because the trade that I was making was a bigger one. So again, I wasn't doing a 1-hour swing, I was doing a 4-hour swing, and I was waiting for the 4-hour to come down, which means for this swing to correct, but it didn't. It retraced upwards. Having taken my profit, now I'm waiting for another entry for this 702 here at 4187 for XRP, right about here. And for Bitcoin, it's offering a range on the 1-hour swing. I put it in already at 23,450, just to be on the safe side. I rounded off a little bit below on the shorts, a little bit above for the longs. So that's it. If it's not gonna offer this, and if it's gonna continue, if it's gonna reverse downwards and break the support line, because both of them are right now threatening to break support lines and trend lines. So if it is going to continue, I will be watching other swings when this breakdown is confirmed for XRP, and for Bitcoin equally. So, you know, there will be another train to catch on the way down, because they will be big moves for correction. And if it is to continue upwards, I am secure with tight stop losses, and I will be starting with a third of my position for Bitcoin, because the stop loss would be 22%. So I don't want to risk 12%. So a third of my position, DCAing on confirmation, and then for XRP, it's the same as far as I can remember, because I put the stop loss. No, I actually put the stop loss above this point at 42.5, and my rationale is if 56. It's at 56. I was hesitating between 56 and 58. So my reason for that is, if it is gonna break this could be a W formation for another swing to the top, in which case I will leave it to top out there, because in this condition, again, it's 18%. So I'd like to keep, again, a third of the position in, and DCA the rest when it breaks down through support. So these are the two trades, and I put the one for XRP in on Monday, I believe, yes, and the one for Bitcoin in on Saturday, I believe. So 2 trades, 40%, not glorious, because of, again, where we are. The ranges were quite good in terms of percentages, but again, I wasn't willing to long. Like, that's what there was a 7% for the top and the middle. if I am to take just the shoulders of this, 3.9. So having made between 7 and 5%, and I took 36. Okay, so 5% would be the average, and I took 60% of the available range. That's not too bad. And in case you guys are wondering, I'm terrible in numbers, but my superpower is calculating money. I am good at that. I'm super fast at that. But if I'm to do any other mathematical operation, not so good. But calculating money, very fast. So that's the XRP. For Bitcoin, again, the money was in the long, in this long in particular. There was it was a technical trade to make. This was no doubt technical with this double bottom, taking the profit here. So this would have been a technical trade to make, but it didn't offer a, no it did, sorry, I take it back. It did offer a 1 hour retracement, so you could have got in here and taken the profit at the range. So that would have been a 4%. So I'm not so happy about missing this long, but at the same time, I remember the 1 hour was coming down here, and it had plenty of space, and that just started going up. So that's why I put the stop loss there, because I know that once it generally, this is how W's behave. Once it gets through that peak in the middle, it shoots up. And I didn't want to close the short because we were in a downwards motion on the daily trend. So that's why I gave the short more chances and a higher probability than the long because of the daily trend. So these two were the trades I made, and these two are the trades that I'm waiting on now. Again, short trades because the daily needs to reset. Again, I will be watching quite carefully what happens. Not necessarily when they get in and when they go on their way down. That's the first stage. But as the trade progresses and it meets resistance, that's when or support, that's when things can reverse. Which of course you know. Now I made some notes this week that I wanted to share with you as a post-trade analysis for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Before I move on to the notes, I just want to have a look at our 1 hour levels. Yeah, so on our 1 hour levels for Bitcoin, there is really not much to say, except for this swing here imitated very nicely what happened here. That was the how can I say, the similarity in how it moved along this support and resistance just to consolidate and do a higher high. Now this higher high wasn't super duper high because it didn't meet the target. So for Bitcoin, we didn't really have any trade to make, in my opinion, on the 4 hour, except for the short that was coming from this double top formation down. So that was the only 4 hour trade that would have been available this week. This being taken as an M formation and then coming down. To be perfectly honest with you guys, this would have been the only 4 hour swing. Now we know from the previous session that I did on XRP for the 4 hour swing, there were 3 4 hour swings, 3 4 hour trades to be made in the course of a month. For the consolidation that we looked at. Sorry. Sorry. I felt I was gonna sneeze. So I'm not surprised that we had a week where we didn't have a 4 hour swing completed. So we would have had a nice top formation for the 4 hour. We can see it in the stochastic, we can see it in the regular RSI. Beautiful, beautiful formation, but it just fizzled out and turned into a higher high. Again, not even a meet the target higher high, a higher high somewhere along here. So not ideal trading ranges, but it is what it is. As long as we're doing proper risk management, you can avoid avoid losing a lot, and you can make a little bit of profit in this range. So that's connected actually to my, I'm not waffling, it's actually connected to my first point for the trade analysis. Patience. We need to wait. If you're looking at doing 4 hour swings, you need to give them time, to give the trades time to show themselves. Like today I was looking at the 1 hour and thinking, oh, it's gonna go up, I should be doing a long for XRP, but then I said no, let it go up, and when it tops out, you know there will be a correction coming. Wait for that topping out formation. There's nothing wrong in waiting for that, because there will be a correction, and it's better to be out, not risking capital, than being in trying to fight to get it back because it's trapped. So that's super necessary in these times of sideways action, and we can tell it's sideways action a lot from how the swings are moving. And I'd say these two, because after our so-called breakout from the triangle, we didn't really go anywhere. So this sort of like gave me the bad news, clarified that we are in sideways action, and not just consolidation. We are ranging it. I think we're ranging, waiting for the news tomorrow. Not the GDP. The GDP was positive today. The core PCE. I just want to make sure I say it right. The core PCE price index, which is, I also learned this, a financial indicator, because I called it instrument today, a financial indicator for inflation used by the Fed. So I believe this is why we're ranging. So patience is one of my notes for the 4 hour swings. The second thing is secure profits if you see any double bottoms. I know we're doing 4 hour swings. Personally, I would have taken 50% profit here and then let it come down if this 4 hour swing had continued, but it didn't. So what I did was I secured profits at double bottoms. I didn't rush to take the profit at this double bottom, because I wanted to give it the space to come down if it is breaking the lower low. And I don't regret that decision, because I think there needs to be a change in mindset when you're doing a 4 hour swing trade. I don't think there's anything wrong in securing the profit above here, because this would confirm the W formation. But I don't think we should be rushing to take the profits here, especially not after a lift like this. So we need to look contextually at where we are in the 4 hour space, and starting, I believe this is the bottom of this, and I know I keep saying it to you almost on a daily basis. This is a 46% lift with no significant correction or backtest of even the 55 EMA on the 4 hour, and if we are to look on the day, not even the 20. So ever since it crossed the 20 here, there were 2 days on the 20, but that doesn't count as a backtest. A backtest is a lift and backtest. So these 2 days, and ever since then, it just kept going up, because it is heavily manipulated, but that's not the point. The point is building sustainable swings. So of course, when we're gonna, if I'm like the next, let me just a second, the next short trade that I'll be making for Bitcoin, I'll be doing the same thing. So I'm gonna get in here, somewhere in here, if it gives me the choice, to have that retracement. Whereas here, if it gives me not the choice, a chance to get in here, I will be looking at a level 1 back to base correction somewhere between the golden pocket and the 702. So this would be the space. So that is why I don't want to close the 4-hour trade at the first double bottom that I see, because it could be a 27% swing that I'm closing. And sure, I will be having more chances because this won't come down in a long red candle, hopefully, like this. This won't come down like that. This will take its steps. Generally, swings go down the way they went up. So I expect a couple of steps around here and around here. So this would be now. If I were, I'm gonna be a bit. I'm gonna be contextual now, because this here we are on the top of a breakout swing. After this consolidation, this was the breakout, this was the lift. So the correction will be equally forceful. However, if we were to trade these swings, as I'm going to show you in the ETH consolidation, so if we are to trade these small 4-hour swings here in the consolidation, after the breakout comes the correction, after the correction comes the consolidation, and then another breakout. Breakout, correction, consolidation. Breakout, correction, consolidation. It's the arc story over and over again. So in the consolidation, I will be telling you, take your profits at the 4-hour double bottom, take your profits at here I would tell you, take your profits here, take your profits here, take your profit here, take your profit here, take your profit. However, now I am going for secure your profit, because if it bounces up, that means it's not the peak formation, and it's likely to do, after a double bottom, a higher high. That's the likelihood. It doesn't always do it, but here it did it, here it did it, here it didn't do it, here it did it. So 1, I'm gonna take it like this, 2, 3, 4. 4 double bottom formations on the 4-hour. 3 out of 4 they made a higher high, and I believe you would have been spiked out with a $100. With a $100, yes, difference, you would have been spiked out. I do 10 points for XRP, for example, from 0.4110 to 0.4120, let's say, and for Bitcoin $100. And for Ethereum, I was gonna suggest $10 difference. That would be a good ground. A good space to leave for the consolidation swings that I'll be showing you today. So we are not in a consolidation swing, we are in a correction swing on the way down when we start coming down. So that's where we are, and that's why I wouldn't be looking to close so quickly. I would be looking to secure profits, and then even if we get spiked out, find another entry on the way down. The way there were entries on the way up here at double bottom, double bottom, double bottom, we will find ways down. Okay, so securing profits rather than taking profits at double bottom. Securing profits when you see any particular W or M formation. And the third point that I wanted to tell you is, once you DCA, because you see, for instance, for Bitcoin, you see the breaking of the 50 and the closing below the 50, and you decide to DCA on backtest, I believe that you should move your stop loss at your entry point, or leave a little bit of space. Again, you are in a big range trade, so once you start DCAing, it's one of two things. First, it's either confirmed. So if you DCA, that means you have your confirmation on the 1 hour. If you have your confirmation on the 1 hour, that means the swing is confirmed in direction, so it shouldn't go up to your entry point and hit your stop loss. It shouldn't, not if you entered on the 0618 or the 702 for XRP. It shouldn't get there, especially if you DCA'd at the back test and not DCA'd on that big red candle. Let's say if you're shorting down, so you DCA on a lift if you're shorting, but you know that. So once you DCA, you should be careful about not risking double the stop loss, because that compounds the losses. Now 4-hour swings are generous enough to compensate for those losses, even if you've put 2/3 of your position in, or the whole of your position in. You went half and half, so that should be okay. But what I'm looking to do is to secure my capital. So if I have DCA'd, that means I've either confirmed the swing direction, and if the swing reverses past my confirmation, that means the direction is invalidated. So if I am to use the 50 on the 1 hour as my invalidation, if I am gonna DCA, let's say I entered here and I DCA here, so that means my stop loss is somewhere around here, so which is above the 50 MA on the 1 hour, slightly above. Now, if for instance your MA for validation is a little bit higher, it's okay to risk 2 or 3%. Like, that's not a big risk to let it come down. But if you entered on the 0618 and DCA'd in here, let's say a little bit of space here, that means you are halfway through, let's say somewhere around here. So I would be putting the stop loss at entry point just a little bit above this 50, because if it breaks above it, it invalidates my resistance structure. So I would be putting the stop loss where I put it here. So I would be securing even a little bit of profit after having DCA. But at entry point or a little bit below it for the shorts, if you are generous because you've made a little bit more profit in the previous trade and you're willing to risk an extra 1 or 2%, but not more after you've DCA'd, because the point of being strict with this strategy is to get in on the pivot. So we need to get in on those pivot swings. Here, for instance, where I went in, it would have been a great pivot swing, unbeatable entry, had it not been for this, which would have whipped me out. So that's why securing the position is essential. You have to be a bit more cold-blooded, mercenary with your positions, which is not being attached to the position. Your capital is more valuable than the position itself. So move the stop loss to protect. Of course, you do your own strategy, your own research, but I would move the stop loss to protect my capital in case it reverses. So that was, again, part of my trading journal. So these were the 3 points that I noticed this week when trading the 4-hour swings exclusively. The patience to wait and not to change, because I'm waiting, I'm planning, and then if I have time I say, why don't I change, and I see the 15-minute or the 1 hour. It's really good to keep focused on this, and of course it's my luck to have this in the sideways and not have glamorous percentages to show you, but it is what it is. It wasn't glamorous, but it was still profitable at 40% profit in a week. So patience, waiting for the 4-hour stock. 2, secure profits. If you see any double bottoms, secure the M's or secure the W formations. And then start with a third or a second or a half of your position. And then once you've DCA'd, move your stop loss to secure your capital. So once you've DCA'd, you need to DCA when you have your direction confirmed. You don't DCA. I would be very careful about DCAing in this sideways. Of course you could. That's okay. It's not a mistake. I did here, but you need. Once I did it, I secured the profit. I had to, because otherwise you would lose twice as much on the stop loss. And then they start adding up. There weren't too many entries, so for Bitcoin there were beautiful entries here and here, here and here, and neither of them would have been stop lossed out on, because you would put above this peak, unless it's a continuation to the upside, which looks like this is it here. So that's my post-trade analysis reflections for Bitcoin. For Ethereum, it's the same thing. It's just that Ethereum had much clearer levels and patterns. So Ethereum has always been in this formation, going from the top to the bottom. Since it made this peak at the weekend, because I had it in a different formation like this initially, and then I moved it. I wasn't really happy with the way this wick was sticking out. Anyways, so Ethereum was a little bit more reliable, and ever since it got past the 50 and the 20 here, it looks set. I don't have any invalidation to believe that this is not going to continue to the top of the range. Now, where I would put the stop loss, it would be right above, sorry, if I am in a long right now, let me change to the 1 hour and see the swings. I would be watching out for an M formation. So if it goes below this, because I am in a long, so if it goes below this bottom here, it confirms this as an M formation, double top for the down. So that's where I would be looking to secure profit. Again, I wouldn't be quite happy being in a long in this situation, because I can see that the peak that it set last night hasn't yet been broken. It wouldn't be a very glamorous, so here again it would be a maybe 20%, 23% profit taken here, rather than around 40 if you were to take it where it is right now, if you were to long. But again, I wouldn't risk longing without a stop loss, or shorting without a stop loss. So again, this, if I'm looking at a 1 hour, let me just put the 1 hour now shorting opportunity on as well. This swing here, it's already given me an 0618 entry, which is what I prefer for Ethereum and Bitcoin. And sorry, I could hear some weird noises outside, and I don't know if it's cats or something else. So here it's already given me the 0618. and the stop loss would be above the previous here, $10, 1642, 1652. How much would that be? 2.9%, a third of the position here, so that you risk below 10% would be ideal. And again, I wouldn't be DCAing in this situation. I wouldn't be DCAing until it breaks this line and confirms it. So we've seen that breaking the 200 is not enough. Even the 50 came down. Now the 50 and the 200 are both support. Not good for shorts, to be honest. But in sideways situations, the MAs become less reliable than in non-sideways situations. So here is where I would be DCAing. So this really interesting noises outside. Sorry, I'm being a little bit distracted by them. Don't know if I should actually check to see what's going on. We live in the city center, and there's an abandoned house close by. I don't know how that is, because it's not common here. But sometimes I've seen homeless people, so I don't know. But it does sound like cats. It's too regular for a person to be doing that. It's like a shriek. Anyways, so this is the situation where we are right now with Ethereum. It is in the middle of this sideways channel, and again, I know perma bear rollers on. I am still looking for a short opportunity, because I believe the juicy trade of this month will be from this correction down to at least the golden pocket or the 702. So this is what I believe is the juicy bit. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna poke my head out just a second. It is nothing, and one of the neighbors is already looking out the window, so the situation is under control. Now, where are we going this weekend? So it's gonna be this is gonna be the shortest part of tonight's session, because it's as you might have guessed, it's the same levels. I'm just gonna place them on the daily time frame rather than our 1 hourly time frame. So on the 1 hourly trade setup, we are in the same situation, because what we've done was we went up and down in this space, and that was actually a mental note. I didn't write it down, but that was a mental note I made for trading ETH. ETH, despite ranging, look at how clear its ranges were, and it did give us from here to here a nice trade, and possibly along from here to here, if you were daring enough to do the long. If you weren't daring enough to do the long, that's perfectly fine. I'm not doing longs now. I'm still waiting for bull market confirmation to focus on the 4 hour longs, or for some consolidation like this. But where we are right now, it's not consolidation, it's the final, the way I read it, it's the final stages of a lift before the correction. So we have the same levels, and again, we haven't seen continuation to level 3. We might not see continuation to level 3 because we reached the start of this, but this would be the next level if we are to continue. So we have the same levels on the 1 hour. Now for the weekend levels, I'm gonna place them on our daily time frame because I believe this is where we're heading with the weekly time frame. And I'm gonna take this support and resistance, and I'm gonna place it here. Just give me a second. Okay, yeah, there would be good. Okay, gonna take this, which would be the 1781 or the 1800. So if I am to be very generous with the range, because again the space that ETH has opened is quite large, so thinking this is a swing up, this is the correction, this is a swing up, this is the correction, this is the swing up, where is the correction? We have no correction, but also this could be consolidation. If this was the 1 2 3 4, we could have a blow off top to 1800. Super great for Ethereum holders if you bought below that level. So what we have here is between the 1780 and the 20 on the day. I believe this is going to be our weekend range. This is what I'm looking at for the weekend, and again I will be, no, I'm gonna leave it there because we do have news coming out tomorrow, and this could be a spike up, and this would be a great blow off top, another 10% lift to liquidate another set of shorts that are on right now. So again, if I were a market maker, that's exactly what I do. If I had the liquidity, just make sure I liquidated all the shorts all the way up here and then liquidated some more up here because everybody thought this was an M formation. So this is what I do. This is especially at the weekend when it's the retail traders that are trading, so more money from the retail coming out of their pockets. So that would be, and that would be the levels that I see ETH moving between. The back test of the 20, I believe, is essential for the sustainability of the swing, and that would be minimal in order to continue to the upside. I would be going for the back test of the 55 because that would be the ideal. That would be basically back testing this as a W formation. I'll show you what I mean. I know it's wonky. Like this, and then going up, and if we come down here, we are keeping this and this and this, whichever of them is the peak of this middle of the W, still valid and continuing. If we are to lift out into the bull market, I don't have confirmations for the bull market yet. I don't have confirmations. We are above the 20 on the daily, which is a markup trend, but it's not a bull market. It's a bullish swing, but not a bull market. And I said it this morning, I keep saying it, for technically to be out of the bull market, we would need to break the peak formation support and resistance, which I believe for ETH is conservatively here or here. So if I'm to put it a little bit like this, like a slanted head and shoulders, somewhere up around here, following this trend line around 2000. So that's where I believe we'll have the bull market confirmation. And again, the confirmation is in when we break the previous high with conviction and we keep going. It's not like we're breaking it here from 43.76 to 47,500 $500. It's not that. It's not another 10%, it's another 20-30% at least. So this would be the range for the weekend, a generous one if we are to continue. Let me just double check for Ethereum. What would be the target for this? 1835. Yes, that would make sense. That would make sense. 1835 would be about here. So breaking this trend line and going a little bit above it, and for the daily trend that would be perfectly reasonable, because the arm of this swing down is up here at 2 grand. So again, possible, not probable in my opinion. With this stochastic turning down, don't think we're coming down. Could this be it and be going for another leg up? Absolutely. Look what this did. Look what this did. Look what this didn't do too much. This was a consolidation because this had already been done, and this did that. So we could be doing that. We'll see. We will see. And again, risk management and protecting your capital, I believe, should be the mantra for the coming weeks. I believe until the FOMC meeting, that will be essential. That's why the market is ranging right now. Okay, so that's it for Ethereum. I believe also another lift is possible, because look what the stock market did today. It did a higher high here, so it stagnated for 2 days and did a higher high today. The stochastic is right now going up on the stock market, and crypto follows the stock market if there is no crypto scandal in the news. Okay, now we'll do the same for Bitcoin. And I'll take the 25K as I have targets. I have measured targets between 24.5 and 27.5. So I'm just going to take the 25.5 target as 25.5 as let's say as a mean middle ground, as a mean top of the range. So this would be my range between the 20 EMA and 25.5. Of course, we could go up to 27. This is the technical target of this channel. I was looking at this morning. I was like, what is this? Where is it coming from? This would be the technical target of the white channel after all of the accumulation. So here it is. Yeah, that would be a maximum top of the range. Now everything, we need to take these ranges with a pinch of salt until tomorrow's news. So tomorrow's news is at 1:30 p.m. UK time, and this will bring some volatility into the market, and this will give us an indication of whether or not this range is gonna hold, because we might be pushing down to correct deeper than the 20 EMA on the daily, so deeper than 1510 for Ethereum. We might be pushing down deeper than that, in which case I will have to adjust. If it is to continue to the upside, it will probably do a deep correction and then a lift up. So that's why I'm saying this. We need to take these ranges more cautiously into account than other weeks where we had more ranging and consolidation, because now we have the big question here, the $1 million question here is this the top formation, or is there another leg up to go? So that's why we need to see how this weekend is gonna play out. This Friday, sorry, not this weekend. This Friday is gonna play out. So that's it for the levels. Again, for Ethereum, we are within the same pattern and the same hourly levels. There's nothing more for me to add to where we are. We are still holding support on the 4 hour. If we're holding support on the 4 hour, we are likely to continue to the upside. How far off into the upside swing, I don't know. It's looking like a beautiful head and shoulders to me, but we need to see if this is gonna hold and reverse to the downside. It would be beautiful if it does so.